Hello and welcome back to the podcast that wants you on their fucking time. Welcome back to another episode of Love, Death, Movies podcast, internet's number one film breakdown and review show. The show that crushes watch this week after week. Every couple of months is a different genre. Every week in that couple of months is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything genres the ride. Let's watch some movies. With me each and every week, Ash First Movies. How are you? Ash, how are you?
I'm so good. And you nailed it. Just
Yeah, it was perfect. That was
why?
really good. That was like, I didn't rush and I did not drag that entire time.
Touche.
Yeah, I was on my tempo. Just 2, 3, 4. Hell yeah! This
Not
week
quite
we
my
are
tempo.
starting. We are starting the one word bangers, the book of the one word bangers, which is Whiplash. Then, just to remind everyone, we're going on next week to Snatch, then to Nope, Tangerine, Cloud, Sunshine, Zodiac, Possession. Is there any one of them that you're really looking forward to? We're all looking forward to all of them, but like,
Yes, all of them. I forgot we had Danny Boyle on there too. So many great directors.
oh
I'm
yeah,
really looking forward to rewatching Nope always because it's a
yep.
masterpiece. I'm looking forward to watching Possession because I've been hearing about it forever. I've heard it's really good. And I'm looking forward to watching Zodiac again, honestly, because it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Hell yeah.
All of them, really, though.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. Like the Sunshine and Nope are probably my one and two of just rewatches because I can't
Yeah.
fucking wait, and then probably Possession and Zodiac, and then
Yep.
all of them, all of them as well. Yeah, hell yeah. But today we are talking about Whiplash, directed by Damien Chazelle in 2014. Budgeted 3.3 million, box office of 50.4 million. Quick synopsis: a promising young drummer enrolls at a cutthroat music conservatory where his dreams of greatness are mentored by an instructor who will stop at nothing to realize a student's potential. So this is Whiplash. We've just done back-to-back recordings. We know what we're all up to. I think when this comes out, I think I'm in Singapore when this
You
one
are.
comes out. I think so. Yeah, that'll be funny. Or no, it might be like the week after that I'm back. Either way, I've finished Sri Lanka because we've got one coming out this week. Then we've just recorded the week after. Yeah, this will be in the
You'll
between
be
week.
back. Yeah.
I'll be back, but we'll still be recording so that we can go across when I'm in my second holiday. Everyone
He's
has
just a
first
holiday kind of guy.
holidays. Everyone has first holidays. What about second holidays?
There you go.
Ash, what do you think about Whiplash? What's your history of Whiplash?
This movie is so good. My history with Whiplash is that I found out about this movie through Film Talk when I joined in 2022, early 2022, maybe late 2021. And yeah, I was trying to watch more movies because I was finding out about things I hadn't seen before. I missed this one completely when it came out. At that time, I was like a senior in college, and I just probably wouldn't have even thought to watch something like this.
Yeah,
I remember watching the trailer on like you can go, to rent the movie and you can watch the trailer. Horribly marketed. Doesn't seem interesting.
awfully.
Doesn't seem like it's horrifying. Doesn't seem like it's a psychological kind of like torment. Like it doesn't portray what it is at all. So I kind of put it off for a while, but then after knowing it was Damien Chazelle and like being like, oh, I love La La Land and I want to give this a try. I remember I watched it. I pulled up my letterbox September 30th, 2022. I did a thing for TikTok where I recorded my reaction throughout the movie and posted a video to my TikTok. I wish I could find it. But I remember, especially after the car accident, I was like, what am I watching? Like, this movie is a horror film. No wonder Blumhouse produced it. But yeah, I remember just being completely in awe of it when, the credits roll. And then I've seen it 5 times total,
Oh
including
yeah.
this rewatch. So I've watched it about twice a year, once or twice a year since I first saw it. I think it's a masterpiece. I love La La Land for different reasons, so I'd probably say that's my favorite Damien Chazelle movie. But this might be like his best film, just like the way it's crafted,
Yes.
the way it's acted, story wise, editing, sound, just everything you could possibly want in a film that involves jazz music and an artist. I think it's a perfect movie. I really don't have a single bad thing to say about it.
I also think it has the greatest ending of all time. I think
It's
it is
so good.
so good. It was funny. We were talking about Knock at the Cabin last episode, and you were saying like how you didn't love the framing, how there's heaps of close-ups, and some of the close-ups in this film are so well deserved, though.
This is
They're
different.
so close. They're so fucking sweaty and they're gross,
The
but
blood
they're
on the
fucking
drums,
deserved.
yeah. It's
Like
so good.
that last scene where it's just the eyes of Fletcher and the eyes of Neiman is so goddamn good. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think this movie is perfect. I remember watching it for the first time. I remember seeing all the trailers leading up to it, and I was like, something about this movie just entices me. And I remember finding it was very small cinematic release, and I remember finding a cinema, and I just convinced like a group of 10 people to let's go see this one film that no one else had heard of, and everyone walked out of that being like, that's the greatest film I've ever seen. And it was so fucking good. And yeah, so ever since then, I think I've seen this countless times as well. I love this movie so goddamn much. It's truly like, for a good period of time, I strongly believed it was my favorite movie of all time. And then I know I just watched others that I'm like, I think I just tie more towards them, but I still think this is still a perfect film. I agree with you. I think
Absolutely.
La La Land might be my favorite of his, but I think this is his quintessentially best film from pen to screen,
Absolutely.
which I think is really, really well done. But let's get into it. Andrew Neiman, played by Miles Teller, who is so underappreciated in this film. Like, he's great in this film. Everyone always talks about J.K. Simmons, rightfully so. He won literally every award. But Miles Teller, like, I know he grew up being a little bit of a drummer, but he, like, put aside his life and became, like, a full-time drummer just for this part. And this role really did set up his entire career. So, it really did help him. But Andrew Neiman is a first-year jazz student at the prestigious Schaefer Conservatory in New York. He's been playing drums from a young age and aspires to become one of the greats, like Buddy Rich. Conductor Terrence Fletcher, played by J.K. Simmons, watches Andrew practice his drums and walks out without saying anything. Mr. Kramer is Andrew's first instructor at school, but it is clear that Fletcher is the one that everyone wants to join. Andrew's father Jim, who is a writer turned high school teacher. Andrew meets Nicole, a movie theater employee, and they begin dating. Frank is also Andrew's uncle, just to kind of give you a synopsis. The next day, Andrew enters one classroom aside from Fletcher, and there he meets the drummer named Connolly, and Ryan Connolly. Shortly, the professor arrives, and the class performs a song called Billy's Ann. Is it Billy Zane? Or was it Billy Ann? Yeah, Billy Zane. They were playing Billy Zane.
Billy
Sorry.
Zane. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's how you pronounce it. Sorry, my bad. Andrew sees Fletcher in the silhouette looking at the door. After the class, Andrew peeks into one of his classrooms where the class is being handled by Fletcher, and he's being looked at by Fletcher. Back at the studio band, Andrew is playing drums as core drummer. Suddenly, Fletcher breaks inside, and Andrew becomes horrified of him. Fletcher conducts every saxophonist and bassist one by one, and until he finally does the drums. I love that because you can really see just how much Fletcher just knows from the start of someone's preparation to playing an instrument, if they're good or bad. Because there's one thing in this movie that I really love is that Fletcher's like dedication to time, no matter to timing and every aspect is like he understands the value of his time as much as he understands the value of the greats' time, like the next Buddy Rich. Fletcher eventually accepts Andrew into his studio band as the alternate for core drummer Carl Tanner, which is played by Nate Lang. After that, Fletcher tells Andrew to come, and he is told to come to the practice, and he's told to arrive at 6 in the morning. Andrew invites Nicole to go out with him. The next day, Andrew realizes that he's late for the class. Andrew struggles and rushes quickly to the school. Once he goes inside, there's an empty classroom. Andrew knows that the class actually starts at 9 a.m. So he's not late. He's still like 2.5 hours early. Andrew waits 3 hours before the class. Andrew discovers that Fletcher, although encouraging at first, is relentlessly strict and verbally and physically abusive towards his students, mocking and insulting them. Fletcher confronts them suddenly, yells at a saxophonist who is playing out of tune, and angrily tells him to get out of the studio band. When the band rehearses the Hank Levy piece Whiplash, and Andrew struggles to keep his tempo, Fletcher hurls a chair at him, slaps Andrew every 4 and 12 counts that he makes, and he will not stop questioning until Andrew answers whether he was dragging or rushing. Andrew answers rushing, then Fletcher forces Andrew to tell the whole band that he is really upset louder. Fletcher then mocks Andrew about his parents being separated, thus Andrew being embarrassed and insulted. So this is the beginning of the film. Kind of anything to kind of add here? Because it's very much like, what I love is that at first there's just like, you can tell everyone just respects Fletcher so much, but he has this huge reputation about, if you're in his class, you're one of the greats. Like you're gonna get a great job after, and you're like, the amount of like reputation that comes from this. It really feels like, follow me here, the jazz equivalent to Suspiria, in a way. That like, you go to this college, or in this particular this one class, and you know how like strict and how aggressive that these people are, but you know that the greats come out of this. So it's kind of just like, you got to just do it, sort of thing. Except one's ruled by a coven of witches, and the other one's Suspiria.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people who like, I mean, I grew up wanting to do like acting, and I did like theater and singing and dance. I've been taking any kind of like performing arts or like different types of classes in the arts from different types of teachers for most of my young life. And I remember when I first watched this movie, it really resonated with me, just that idea of like having different types of instructors who kind of like push you to be great, but then you do sometimes come across the ones like, did they go too far? Like he asks him later, like, is there, you know, is there a possibility that you might like
Overstep the line.
keep the next great from becoming great by the way you treat them? And then he's like, but then they're not the great if that key. So I get the perspective, but at the same
They
time,
will never
like,
be discouraged.
but how far is too far? Like how, like he's so disrespectful, but he's obviously like so talented, and they want to be in the class for a reason. Otherwise, all these people wouldn't be in there. I did think it's interesting that it's an all male like jazz band too. I cannot see many women putting up with that
Do you reckon
attitude.
that's done very purposely?
Probably.
Probably.
But yeah, I thought that was, I think it's a really like interesting like struggle for an artist. Like, yeah, just like being pushed to be great, but also like how much can you put yourself through before it kills you mentally, or like it wrecks your life. Like obviously he tells Nicole he doesn't even want to be together because he has to focus on this. Like it affects his relationship with his dad. Like there's just so many things you have to sacrifice. And it's kind of like a question of like, is it worth it? And Andrew definitely tests that question, and he goes the distance. He really does. I have to applaud him for really going the distance. But yeah, the beginning of the movie just really sets the tone of who they both are. And I think some of these scenes are so tense. The rushing, dragging is obviously great. There's a couple of my favorite quotes in this part that are just really funny. Like, I have it pulled up here. The Barker, that is not your boyfriend's dick. Do not come early. Just like the most like outlandish shit. You can never be ready for what Terrence Fletcher is going to say next. Never. Or just like wimpy willow shit sack. Like he just comes up with the most like ridiculous things. When he talks about his mom who like left him, and it's so offensive. I mean, just absolutely trying to get into his head in the meanest way possible. But that's what makes him such a great villain. I mean, he's probably the best movie villain that's not a traditional villain.
Yep.
He haunts me in my mind daily.
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite lines though is when the organizer or the manager of the local jazz competition comes into the room and he goes, "Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you." Still,
Are you still there, Mini-Me?
Yeah.
He's
There was a
J.K.
Mars bar
Simmons.
quote, wasn't there? Mars bar.
Yeah, when he's like trying to get the guy to tell him if he was out of tune. He's like, "What are you looking for down there? There's not a Mars bar down there."
Yeah, I'm not gonna have you cost us a competition because your mind's on a fucking Happy Meal instead of on pitch. So
Yeah, he calls him
good.
Elmer Fudd. Like,
That's right.
it's like he wasn't out of tune, but he didn't know, and that's
And
just
that's
as
worse.
bad. That's
Yeah.
worse. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
worse.
so good.
J.K. Simmons is honestly on another level. Like I've been so used to seeing him as like the dad or like the funny side character in so many
Like
things.
Juno and stuff, yeah.
He's one of him and Allison Janney are probably my favorite supporting actors across the board. Everything
Love
that they're in where they're a supporting character, they are always on fire. Like
Yeah.
I remember their performance every single time.
I love that. That's a great pick. Hell yeah. Nice. Well, let's continue. At a local jazz competition, Andrew misplaces Carl's sheet music as Carl cannot play without it. Andrew steps in, informing Fletcher that he can perform Whiplash from memory. Fletcher promotes him to core drummer. Now, quick stop here. Do you think Fletcher took the music?
Yes.
I agree. At the studio band, the band is practicing the new song Caravan. which needs an extreme timestamp measure of 330 beats per minute. Fletcher dismisses the band, except Andrew, when Fletcher discusses with him about that note. Shortly, Ryan Connolly, who Andrew met from the other class, arrives. Andrew plays the drums to test the ability of the tempo, but his tempo fails, while Ryan plays well. Like, not really, but it's kind of just like...
The leprechaun.
Like, oh, we got a natural talent. Therefore, Fletcher takes Ryan as the new core drummer, but Andrew does not agree with this. Jealous, Andrew will be the core drummer if he earns the part. Determined to impress Fletcher, Andrew practices while his hand bleeds and breaks up with his girlfriend Nicole, believing that she will distract him. The next day, Fletcher tearfully reveals in class that a talented former student of his, Sean Casey, had died in a car accident. The band rehearses Caravan, but Ryan struggles with the tempo. Fletcher auditions Andrew, Ryan, and Carl for hours while the class waits outside. Fletcher then pushes the three drummers to play at a faster tempo on Caravan, keeping them for a grueling 5-hour practice. When it is Andrew's turn, Fletcher kicks the chair, then throws the drum away in wrath, and even tells Andrew to increase the tempo. In this process, Andrew's left hand is bleeding and the blood drips into the drum set. And after 1 minute of playing, Fletcher finally tells Andrew that he has earned the part. So I'll do this next part and then we can stop there. On the way to a jazz competition, Andrew's bus breaks down. Determined to make the performance, he rents a car but arrives late without his drumsticks. After an argument with Fletcher, Andrew drives back to the car rental office and retrieves the drumsticks. As he speeds back, his car is hit by a truck. He crawls from the wreckage and arrives on the stage, badly injured, blood everywhere. When he struggles to play Caravan due to his injuries, Fletcher stops the band midway through the performance and tells Andrew that he is done. Enraged, Andrew attacks Fletcher in front of the audience and is dragged away. Anything to kind of add here, Ash? Any of the scenes to kind of point out here?
What could one add? I don't know, Harry. There's really nothing out of the ordinary here. I think it's all very normal behavior. Nothing to really point out. No, I think that the scene where he brings in Connolly from that moment until he attacks him on stage is probably my favorite chunk of the movie besides the ending. I think it's just so tense. It's just so nonstop. It just pains me watching what he puts himself through for this man, to try to be great, to try to, really get this part, to try to show him that he's worthy. And I think one thing that's kind of interesting about Andrew that makes him like more likable to me is that he's obviously comes from like a very simple family. He's not like some rich kid. His dad really cares about him.
His dad cares about him, but he doesn't understand.
No, he doesn't understand him.
And that's why
but
that
most
last
parents,
shot is so good.
Most parents of kids that want to be in the arts, I feel like that is the case. Like, I know my parents always told me, like, okay, when are you going to like give up on this dream and do something like practical? Like, I feel like that's very common that most parents don't understand people who want to be these like, in the performing arts of some kind. It doesn't feel like a feasible career. Even like the scene at the dinner table with the family and the football cousins and stuff. It's just like, that's so realistic for people who are in the industry, especially when you're talking about like a jazz band, like something like that's a little bit more like niche, I think it's very well fits. And I think that Andrew's a very misunderstood person and he's a very relatable like protagonist. So I think that's why you're rooting for him, but you're also just like angry with him for making some stupid ass decisions, and killing himself in this way. But he wants to be great, and it kind of pays off by the end because he is great, So it's like, but it pains me to watch him bleeding and watch him like when his hands move, and you're just like, are they actually playing music or is he just like twitching his hand? Like, it just doesn't even look like he's like drumming. He's just kind of like moving his hands so fast that it's just insane to watch. I don't know how they filmed it so well, but yeah, those scenes from when he brings Connolly in all the way through the competition, I think are jaw-dropping, just absolutely insane in their relationship escalation and just how far he's willing to go. I can't believe he walked from a car accident onto a stage and tried to play with a mild concussion, probably.
Yeah. Oh, mild would be a slight under exaggeration.
I'm not a doctor,
Yeah, he got fucked up in that car.
Yeah.
He got mad fucked up. Days later, Andrew is expelled from Schaefer and meets with a lawyer representing the parents of Sean Casey. The lawyer explains that Sean actually took his own life, having suffered anxiety and depression after joining Fletcher's class. Sean's parents want to prevent Fletcher from teaching. Andrew agrees to testify, resulting in Fletcher being fired. Months later, Andrew sees Fletcher performing at a club. They drink together, and Fletcher explains that he pushes his students beyond the expected so they might achieve greatness, citing a story where Joe Jones allegedly threw a cymbal at Charlie Parker on his first night. As an example, Fletcher says that the next jazz musician to live up to Parker's legacy would never let discouragement stop them. He invites Andrew to perform at a festival concert with his band. And sorry. Andrew agrees and invites Nicole, but she's in a new relationship and declines. Sorry, I don't have any water. On stage, we're suffering through this. On stage at the jazz festival,
Just like Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not getting discouraged at all. I'm great. Fletcher reveals to Andrew that he knows he testified against him. I fucking love that. I knew it was fucking you. In revenge, Fletcher leads the band in a new piece for which Andrew was not given the sheet music. Andrew leaves the band. He leaves the stage humiliated. This is where he had two options. He could quit. He probably should. He's given so much, and he hasn't really achieved it yet. Or he could just say one more time. He returns and begins Caravan, interrupting Fletcher as he addresses the audience. The rest of the band join in, surprising Fletcher, who eventually follows suit. What Andrew displays is nothing short of greatness. Andrew ends the performance with an extravagant drum solo. Fletcher gives him the nod of approval. Cut to black. That is Whiplash. So I've written like a little short paragraph of why I love this ending. I think the ending of Whiplash is widely considered as one of the best because it delivers a thrilling emotional payoff whilst refusing to offer a simple or comforting resolution. In a single electrifying performance, the film transforms Andrew's journey into something both triumphant yet deeply unsettling. He achieves the greatness he's been chasing, but only by submitting to the toxic ideology of his mentor. Damien Chazelle crafts the scene with relentless intensity, turning music into a form of combat and climaxing in a wordless exchange that says everything about ambition, sacrifice, and obsession. What makes it truly unforgettable is the ambiguity. It feels like victory, yet it's raising the haunting question of whether the cost of that victory is far too high. I love this ending. Wow. This is a perfect fucking ending to me. I think this is probably my favorite ending of all time. I think this movie's perfect. I'm giving this 5 stars easily. But what do you think of the ending, Ash? Give me any thoughts on your score.
Yeah, I also give it a 5. I have since I first watched it. It's a no-brainer. I could never write anything as beautiful as that. You know me, I'm not so great with writing reviews, but yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think that's exactly the way that I feel as you're reading it, like watching that scene now like 4 or 5 times. It is like a form of combat. It's just this like this power trip between these two guys that are almost like has Andrew become a little bit like Fletcher? Has Fletcher become a bit more flexible and he's allowing to be tested? Does he like that he's kind of being tested by Andrew now? Like that he's pushing back on him, and even their conversation in the bar is really haunting because it's like you kind of think maybe they have an understanding, and then he gets to the competition and he's just like, I know it was fucking you. Like
such a good line.
But it's like Terrence Fletcher is so haunting because you really never know when he's being genuine, when he's being a true human. Like even when you see him with that little girl in the hallway and he's like, "You gonna come be in my," like he's so sweet with her, and you're just like, I can't trust this man. I don't know. He's just a very unpredictable person. So that's what makes him so scary, is that he is so human, but he's also just so like he's got so much power and just so much. I don't know the right word, but the way he pushes people is very, very terrifying. So I feel like it's just the perfect ending for these two characters, and I can't imagine a more perfect ending, especially with like the sweat on the drum.
Yeah.
What's the top part of the drum? I don't know, the cymbal. Thank you. The sweat on the cymbal, and just that solo that goes on for minutes on end. It's just
so good.
I agree with you. I don't know if it's my favorite ending of all time. I'd have to like think about that, but I feel like it's definitely got to be like a top 10 for sure. Absolutely. It's powerful, and no words are needed. It's just the music and the framing and the characters looking at each other and says everything. And yeah, this is a perfect film. I couldn't agree more.
Hell yeah. Nice. So for next week, please do watch Snatch, but we are going into a little draft. We're going to do 5 movies each. Movies about music and musicians. Ash, because I'm nice, I'll let you go first. I'm just going to write down what I'm going to take.
Let's see. What do I want to do here?
I've already written down our 2 first takes then.
I feel like I hate always taking the movie we're talking about just because I feel like it's just like unfair. I just like almost want to try to take other things, even though it deserves to be on any list, of course. But just because this one is a bit more me and a bit more fun, I'm gonna take Sing Street as my
Holy
first one.
smokes, that's really cool. That's not what I thought you would go for first.
Wait, oh, I'm curious. Well, we'll see by the end.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take what I thought you were going to go for first. I'm going to go La La Land, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, for me, just because like Sebastian, I guess he is the musician, but I was trying to think of like movies that are more like surrounded around bands and like more
Sure.
group oriented, I guess. So I wasn't really thinking La La Land, but that's a great pick, and obviously I love that movie as well. Um, let's see. Another one that, well, now I feel like I need to get Damien Chazelle on the list, so maybe I will just take Whiplash.
It's a good one, too.
I'll just do it. I'll just take it. I'd be remiss if I didn't end up with him at all.
No, I like that. There's like so many different avenues you could go down. There's one that I know you really want. I'm going to take Almost Famous. That's around a band, right? Yep.
Yeah, I definitely had that on my list. I'm actually kind of sad I didn't take that first because I forget that you also love that movie. I probably could have saved Sing Street.
I also love
You
Sing
got
Street, though.
you got 2 of my favorite movies, yeah. I mean, these are probably all going to be movies I love between these 2 lists. I do love music movies in general. Yeah, third, just because I don't know if you would take it from me, I'm gonna go ahead and take This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, that was the movie. I was like, I wouldn't do that, yeah. But yes, I agree it should be there. Alright. Let me get into the nitty gritty. I could take that. I could also take that. Could definitely take that. I'm going to take School of Rock.
Oh my God, how did I forget about all my favorite movies? I can't believe I forgot that one. That actually really makes me sad.
Yeah, it would. If I would be feeling that sad as well if I didn't forget it.
Wow, okay, shut up. Bummer. I'm actually, your list is actually, I feel like is more me than my own list is.
Oh, I've got my next 2. I'm praying you just don't take them.
I feel like I'm like forgetting some. I should have done more research, to be fair. I feel like I didn't
I'm literally
really
just
do
doing
all it.
research now. Like, literally
I
just
didn't do
going.
enough. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna take a fun one. And actually, does Sound of Metal count?
I'd take that. That's fine.
It's not really focused on like
But
the music
focused on the
aspect,
musician, though. If you
Yeah,
want to take it, you can take it.
yeah, I'll take it.
I'm not going to veto anything. Love it. I'm going to take the Blues Brothers.
That's very you.
The Blues Brothers.
I was thinking about taking Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Oh yeah.
But as my last pick, I'm going to take Stop Making Sense, which I know you
Yeah,
haven't
that
seen,
was the
which is
one
why I
that
saved it.
I was scrolling through and I was like, you need to take that. You love that.
Yeah, I knew I was going to take it last. You still need to watch it, though.
I do. I'm going to take Amadeus for my last one.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic film. So to recap, Ash had Sing Street, Whiplash, This Is Spinal Tap, Sound of Metal, Stop Making Sense. I, Harry, has Daddy 101, got La La Land, Almost Famous, School of Rock, what a 3, the Blues Brothers, and Amadeus. So, pretty good.
I like your top 3 better than mine. But honestly, those are all 5-star movies for me, all 6 of them. So
I think you would really love Amadeus anyway. So
I think I wanted to watch it, but it's long, so I just have been putting it off. But
it was
I
one of
will.
those movies that like it was like a retro movie in my local cinema, so I just like
Gotcha.
went up that one day, and it was I fucking loved it. So again, please next week watch Snatch. But until next time, I'm Harry. That's Ash. Love Death Movies. See the movies.